All right. So today we're just going to sit around and chat about a couple of things that Joshua has going on in his world. And because this has kind of all, obviously has us thinking outside the box right now. Joshua, a couple months ago, was starting his book, and now go figure, great timing to have it here and ready on Amazon to check it out and see all of his travels and all of that fun stuff that he has done. So we just wanted to sit down and have a little chat about what he's got going on and how this has kind of changed his way of doing art and all that fun stuff. So what's up? What's up, Joshua?
Oh, hi. How you doing, Chandra? Nice to see you again.
Yeah,
And
you
yes,
too.
thanks. Yeah, I just getting some painting done. This is my latest one right here. This is my companion for today here. As
Awesome.
yes, welcome. This is the new dog painting that I've been doing, just from a photo. I'm
Is that
so spending.
somebody's dog or is it yours?
Yes, yeah, a friend's dog.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was like a very dark brown dog, and I'm trying to work things out with it. So it's getting
Yeah.
I think the orange is pretty bright, but I think it definitely pops. So,
Oh yeah, I think it does. It brings his face out really well.
okay,
Definitely.
great, great,
How
great.
long have you
Yes,
been working on it?
for about 4 or 5 days now.
Okay,
I've got a
cool.
lot, a lot of hours each day. And I have a lot of time in my studio than rather than I'm usually work outside. But I prefer to work in my studio, especially with the portraits. It takes a lot more concentration than the landscapes. So,
Right.
but
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah. So most people don't know, but before when we did my artist spotlight with you, Joshua does a lot of his work outside, which obviously he cannot do right now. So mostly on the streets, right? You just kind of show up and do you have did you have like businesses you would like ask them, can I come just hang out here? Or did you just show up?
Well, where I paint is actually on a public part of the property. It's on the
Okay.
towpath, so it really doesn't belong to anybody. And so I've never been approached like, oh, you got to move, because which is good because there's a beautiful tree stump, and I put my easel and my supplies and my studio on there, and that's been my go-to spot. And it's a beautiful location. It's like all the businesses have are pretty unique. But my business is on the canal, on the towpath, and in this crowded area. So I've been doing that for over a year now, definitely over a year, and done pretty well up there. Times were slow, but it's also I had some really good sales too. So, and I also added quick drawing too. I started doing that on top of it. And for 10-15 minutes they sit down and I draw their portrait, and there you go. So I've been trying new things, and that's worked for me. So
Nice.
so I enjoy that very much, and which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, people like that. People like the quick, let me see your skill type of thing. And people really like that. I like that. I mean,
It seems like my
I,
calling card in a way. So like,
yeah,
it's, people give up someone a business card that they're most likely to chuck it away. But if you give them a drawing, then there you go. Well, they pay for it, but obviously if you give them a drawing, then they definitely won't forget the experience.
right. So true. So true.
So that's
Um,
what I try to do.
yeah. So yeah, so definitely that's kind of taken you out of your that zone of making some money. So
Right.
what have you been doing the last couple weeks? I know like we've been pretty much on quarantine for the last, oh my gosh, I feel like it's been like almost 30 days, but I think it's like 20 something here in Michigan. We're on with the kids home and stuff. So what have you been doing? Is there any
Oh,
ideas or things that you had on your docket
yeah.
before that
Oh,
you
for
uh,
sure.
have been working on?
Well, like when the new year started, I knew that it was going to be a pretty big year for me. This is like where I want to try to get all my ideas that I can and see if they stick, they work. And so even during this quarantine, I was still, working on for example, I knew I was going to be doing a book, And that was like I first had ideas about the book several years ago when I was trying to think maybe I should come out with something just for my Asian art or something in my European art. But then I thought, well, okay, a couple more years, let the decade end, and then maybe do an entire book of the whole decade, all my travels.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of waited till then. And so I worked on my book and for a couple months, and after re-editing and the process obviously took a long time. It finally is published, so it's great.
That's awesome. So talk a little bit about the book. So what is the book? What's in it? I know it's called Travel Smart, correct?
Yes, Travel Smart. Yes, exactly. And I wanted something just very simple, simple name. What I didn't know is there's actually a product called Travel Smart. It's just 2 words. Mine is 1 word. So
okay. Yeah.
I didn't know that till afterwards, but I was like, I don't want to change the title now. No,
right.
it's simple, catchy, whatever. I just wanted to give it a simple thing. Anyway, so what was the question?
That's okay. I'm just asking you about the book. Like, where did the ideas come from? What is it? Because I know a little bit about it, but some people might not. So
yeah, okay. Well, my book is basically my travels. I taught English in Asia, in Europe, and I spent a lot of years there. And not just that, but my book starts. It goes chronologically from 2010 to 19. So you do see the progression of my work from that period on. And I've made a lot of work from the beginning to end, but I didn't want to include everything. I just wanted the best ones, the most represented ones. Otherwise, my book would be 400 or 500 pages and probably be too big. But I kept mine under 200 pages, and try to put the best works I could from each trip, each country, each period. And I also, it's not just pictures. I did some photos of some of my pretty much all my travels, but just a few photos and some quotes and things that I did I looked at old blog posts, Facebook posts, and I was just trying to see my mindset and just trying to fill in different periods, like quotes that I said. And some were kind of eye-opening. I couldn't make this stuff up. So I put down the quotes and I put the exact date that I said that quote. So if you look at the Kindle version, you'll see like one of the quotes there. But you'll see about funny the Kindle book preview is amazing. I mean, it gives you there's 60 pages preview. I think it's quite a bit of preview. So yeah, so it's cool. And so I wanted to, like I said, keep like a kind of a book on all my travels. Started in Lambertville and then ended in Lambertville. So it's kind of an interesting, trip. It really is a bookend. So you'll see everything from beginning to end to now, and that's pretty much it. I think I had artwork all the way up to just a few months ago. So so as far as I could go, I knew I was going to make a book. I just wanted to kind of wait and see okay, what kind of works am I going to produce and just try to get some ideas. And then I jumped into it after that. And I knew the wintertime, that was my big project. That was the one that I really wanted to do.
And how long did you say that it has taken you to, from start to finish to be able to, publish it and then put it, CreateSpace or whatever it's called now?
Start to finish, I would say give it about 2 months.
It was about 2 months. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Just setting up and just trying to organize things. And yeah, it's quite a process because, you're your own editor. So you're constantly looking at things and rearranging pictures and trying to see what works, what doesn't. It's a bigger process. I know when you look at the book, it's going to say, wow, this is pretty simple. There's a picture on this page, a picture on this page, That's how it is most of the book. But to me, it's sort of like my philosophy in life. I like to try to make things look very simple, like my website or like my book. I just want to keep it very clean, very simple. So that's pretty much, I would say the book is a little part of my personality involved. I mean, I didn't want to try to get too fancy with fonts or like with different layout things. I didn't want to like go all over the place with it. I just wanted to
Right.
keep it very basic, simple. I mean, here's my work. There you go. It kind of looks like, stuff you see in a gallery, on a white wall.
Mm,
That kind of simple. So each page is dedicated to one, maybe sometimes two paintings, and so you just kind of take a look at that, and so I was thinking about, like, making like a story for each one, but I thought that might be too complicated, especially that I didn't take a whole lot of notes on them, and it would just take too much time and maybe too many words. Because what I did is, in the beginning of the book, I pretty much said over a course of 8 pages that, okay, this is what happened in this period, this period, this period. So there is an introduction,
mhm.
kind of, and then it leads the viewer onto a journey, and you can kind of, you know, like a movie, or I say like a movie, like a book.
Right.
You make your own conclusions.
Yeah,
Rather
definitely.
than me telling you exactly what I feel, I want you to look at these pictures just to see what you think, what you feel from these, and because this whole thing is like a visual autobiography in a way. So
Okay. So like
yeah.
how did you get the pictures? So are these pictures that like did you like take the pictures of your paint? Like how did you I always wonder like how do people get that their paintings that are so big or huge into like a smaller type and then keep all of the little imperfections that make the picture or the painting? Like how do you do that?
Oh, you mean for the book?
Yeah.
Um, well,
Do you have to like put them
unfortunately,
in a print first form and then
well, I
or
just, take with actually my camera, my phone camera took those pictures a lot, quite a
okay.
bit. Some of them didn't, because some of those pictures are old enough that it probably was a different camera. But for the most part, I did take a lot with my own camera, and they're I mean, my phone camera, they're good photos. And because they come out with, high megapixels. They're
Mhm.
very I'm very particular on, like, if they're not clear or anything, I won't use them in my book.
Right.
And that was the thing I was most concerned about, like, how will they come out? And I'm sure if they were blurry, I'm sure Amazon would have said, that your pictures are not coming out. Why don't you re-edit them? I
Yeah.
would I would assume that they
Mhm.
would say.
Yeah, they
So
have their requirements of how many pixels that you can have and how big the picture can be and all of that stuff to make sure that things don't come out that way. Um,
right,
so that's
right.
helpful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was worried about it, because some of the images are low res, but because, like, the book is not that large, it's probably well, it's larger than the average book. It's going to be an 8 by 10 book.
Okay.
So it's definitely a little bigger than a normal size book, which is like a 6 by 9. So, but I at the same time, when you import the photos, okay, it just comes up like that. Now, if you try to increase it, then it'll get more blurrier. But for the most
Mhm.
part, I didn't have to really do that.
Right. So
So
that takes a couple of the questions out of my mind that I think that some people want to make so hard to do. I
right,
mean, like I was already thinking like, oh, which I feel like some people are already thinking that way too. Like they have an idea that they want to do, but then they have all these questions like, how do I get
mhm,
the prints and how do I do that?
right,
And again, it's just thinking simple and thinking I want to get this done and I want to make sure that it's done right and not complicate it is pretty much what it sounds like you didn't do so that you could just do it and check it off, be done.
right. Like, the one thing you don't want to do is try not to overthink it. Try not,
Right.
otherwise it's like a painting. If you overdo it, people are going to see the struggle in it, and it's not going to look as coherent, or as good.
Right. Right.
So sometimes you just gotta, like, okay, work on a little each day, take a break, work on a little, take a break,
Mhm.
and I know, which is kind of opposite my personality, because I like to try to get everything done as soon as possible at once. So I really had to, slow it. I wanted to slow it down intentionally, and
Right. And
take my time,
that's
which is
good.
good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
'Cause you'll be able to
yeah.
see that with while you look at the book or however people scoop it up. So when you go through I know it as Create Space. What did you say they called it?
It's
KB,
called KDP.
KDP Publishing or something like
Yeah,
that?
Kindle Direct Publishing, I
Yeah.
believe. Yes.
So, do they have any way for you like to advertise on their platform, or is that just something that you have to do on your end?
Well, they do have, for if you want to pay for the advertising, you can. There's some kind of promotion. I didn't really check it out too much yet because I just got it published, and
Okay.
but most likely I'll probably do it on my own. I have a website and social media, so I'm gonna post it. And once I get my print book, I have to order some. Once I get it, then I'm gonna probably shoot a video and kind of show people like this is the book. This,
Yeah.
and when I'm outside, when it's finally it's getting warm out, when I'm outside, I'll have some of those books with me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show people them. And I was like, okay, this is. You want to know about my work? Here you go. This is a history of it. There it is.
Yeah.
And so I think hopefully it'll add to it just because I feel like a book is a really good way. It's another extension of your creativity. I think it's whatever period you are. I feel like artists have a story to tell. If you have a bunch of work you want to document, preserve, I think it's great, and it could be used as a portfolio too.
Right.
uh, so I definitely am in favor for that, and thank God because of the internet, and you can self-publish. You don't have to send manuscripts out like it used to be, and
Right.
so so yeah. If you're over 40, you definitely remember the days before you had to do it. But now, like yes, it's so much easier and it's
Yeah.
very convenient. And I've read the quality is really good, for Amazon, and it's to me like I did research on several other companies, and I felt like Amazon seemed like the best, especially with
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
like
My
modem.
husband, he wrote his two of his books using CreateSpace
Mhm.
at
Oh,
the time,
yeah.
and yeah, very good, very good printing source. Very good. There's ways that, like you said, you can advertise on your own through your email list or through your website or social media presence. It is a really good, idea for some
That,
people.
that's good to know. So you would assume that because it has the Amazon label, that the print quality will be very good too.
Right. Yeah. They
And
do a,
so
they
I
do
mean,
a good job.
yeah, reputation has a lot to do with it, and I just
Mhm.
feel pretty good about it. And amazingly, that Amazon seems like one of those few companies that might actually prosper during this whole time, And
Yes. Yes. Right now, I
yeah,
we are like we are seeing for our physical brand right now. I am I don't well a I can't send anything in right now because if people don't know, I have a paintbrush company that I have, and so my product, I was good middle of March. I was good on inventory. Wasn't thinking we would, where at times we're a little slower, which is normal for first quarter. But right now we are like we're past Christmas right now. Like Christmas sales right now it is crazy. It's really crazy. But our supplier and all of that, it's kind of one of those things where we have to think about how, because before we would get them from our manufacturer, which is in Shanghai, and
hmm
then she would send them to me. I would, look over them, and sometimes I would, sanitize them and stuff because they do come. I mean, they take like 10 days to get to me, so I have to go through them and check them, and do our quality checks and things like that. But now I'm not going to be able to do that. So now they have to go from them, and
hmm
then probably more like 15-20 days to get into Amazon. So it's like
okay,
it's kind of crazy. It's crazy times, but we all have to move and shake, and I have product, and I have product on hand, so that's good for our
that's
customers
good.
who need stuff right now.
Well, right. Well, an artist friend told me, and he's a very successful artist himself, and he said that it's good to have your eggs in a lot of different baskets,
Definitely.
especially at this time. It's just nice to have different things to offer.
Yep.
And so by the time, and I'm ordering new supplies for my outdoor display. I ordered a new umbrella and a print rack even.
Mhm.
And I'm actually as good as the easel I have now. I want something lighter, like a half box easel.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a vintage like easel, something like it could be used like a vintage Julian or Italian easel, something not made in China, something really good quality. And because I like the lighter easels, I've had one before and I just loved it. And I have a full one now. It's a little heavy, but so that's the one piece of equipment I'm keeping my eye open for that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. Um,
yeah.
all right. Well, so I guess my other question is there anything else that you're, working on this week within the next couple weeks? Is there anything that you're really kind of wanting to put some, push into?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be working on some larger paintings. I'm definitely, since I'm at my house, I can't certainly bring larger works to outdoors. So when I
Mhm.
say larger, I mean I'm gonna. This is out of my comfort zone. Doing something really big, like a landscape or something. Maybe I'll put some horses. I'm not sure yet, but I
Okay.
want to do something really big. I'm trying to paint a few bigger ones, but I also want to keep painting like animals. Trying to refine my style. I'm taking this drawing class at the Southern Atelier uh, in Florida. There's an online drawing course I'm about to take.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm very glad to. It's the first time I'm doing something like that, and I'm like, okay, I miss taking classes. So I'm always trying to figure out how to better my drawing skills. And so hopefully by the time everyone is finally going to get outside, which is
Yeah.
will not be long in the near future, hopefully I'll be more ready.
Yeah.
And so
Well, it
I'm looking
sounds like,
forward.
yeah, it sounds like you're going to be.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, I'll
gonna
try and
have a lot of different things when you come on out and be able to, you know, have a lot of gives, that you can give people to, that's one thing that I'm really like, I really believe about the give for your customer. And I think things like this, thinking outside of the box and be able to give your customer something different than just here's my painting, buy it, that most people want to do, and they're just like, it's not working. Why is it not working? Well, it's mostly because you're not thinking outside of the box. You're not giving them something like you have the book, which is an amazing, that's awesome, that you've already, like, that's one of the things, check it off your list, let's move on, and
yeah,
you even
yeah.
have like some of the online stuff too, that you've done. And it's all about giving your customer those things and giving them a piece of your journey that makes you stand out. And that's what you're doing. So bravo to you. And I think that in the long run, it's going to really open up some different avenues for you as an artist, as putting that stamp on yourself as a professional artist and really having people build a relationship with you.
See, and that's the important thing. I mean, because especially now that who knows, like more people are going to be online and than ever, even when this whole thing is over. I mean, I always say that there's no substitute in seeing things in person, but I'm also trying to develop a stronger presence online. And the tough part is, one, there's so much competition with trying to get someone's attention. But the other thing is, how can you build relationships with people online? And I think, okay, video. I'm thinking video, telling your story, say, for example, this is my dog that I'm painting right now, and I hope you
Right.
enjoy it. This is, I'm almost finished, not quite, but it's just stuff like that, even if it's just maybe 1 or 2 minute video, something short, at least just to give a little glimpse.
Right. Right.
I don't have the most fanciest equipment to use. I just have like a phone or a camera. So hopefully that's enough.
That doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, we are us creatives, like, we want to think that we need to have those things, but the thing is it doesn't matter. You just need to show up. Like my husband,
That is good,
I
good,
mean, it
good
literally happens. Like, it
thing.
literally happened the last 2 weeks. My husband, I did a webinar, and he's been on me, because we're turning it into an ebook and all this stuff. And he's like,
Nice.
"Did you do it yet?" did you do it yet? I'm like, no, I need this or I need that. Like I was always just like thinking, well, I need to do this and I need to do that before. And then yesterday he's just like, are you gonna do that? Or I was like, you know what? Yes. Like, you just have to make that decision that you're gonna do it and just do it. Like quit making excuses because it's not gonna get done.
Right. I think part of it is, I can be honest about it, is like, I feel like either it's going to be incredible or it's going to be a disaster. There's
Right.
only no in between. Like, and because I'm like, okay, whenever I put something out there, I have my expectations are always pretty high.
Of course. There
And
are.
I think, yeah, that freezes me up sometimes,
Yep.
especially if I want to do video, because I'm like, I'm not sure if it'll come out good, or like, how am I going to paint and video at the same time? It's kind of hard to paint with one hand and a camera in the other. It just takes away some of the process. I need something more not so invasive, So I have to think of how to do this. It's these are the things that I think about a lot.
Yep. And that's the things that I think all of us think about, Joshua. That's
Yeah,
why half of those things do not get done. But
yeah,
the funny part of it is my husband and I were just talking about how quickly um we have all these things that we wanted to get done, and then this happens, this slowing us down happens,
mhm,
and then all those things that we wanted to get done, just okay, we're just gonna do them. Why not? We got the
yeah,
time, and then you do them and then they're done, and then it's just like, it's kind of like you have to be pushed against the wall to climb out the window, or something like that, and it's happening everywhere. It's happening in studios like around our neighborhood, that have the sip
mhm,
and swirl classes. They're
right,
doing them online now for free
okay,
for people to watch. It's like,
uh-huh,
I mean, just think about how much things could change just doing those things, giving people that opportunity to do those things at their home or at their leisure. It's just thinking outside of the box, and then not having those thoughts in our heads of, oh, I don't have that thing. So when I get that thing, I'll do it. Or, oh, it's going to be really hard. So I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to go along. It's just making that decision to do what you want to do.
yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Like, ready or not, I guess it's
Yep.
all about, at least do something, even if it's like 5 minutes a day or so 10 minutes. At least you're doing
Right.
something. And that, to me, that's because I know what it's like when you're not doing something and you're like, okay, how did I just waste this whole day? You
Yep.
know, and and,
Yep.
and now is like a great opportunity. We have all the gift of time,
Yes, we do.
finally, and we got it. I think now's a great time to really experiment everything that you always wanted to, but were afraid to.
Exactly.
Um, and I think, I don't know if afraid's the right word, but I'm saying like put off.
Yep.
I think it's that it's very important just to stretch your boundaries, especially now you do have time. And
Yeah.
if you do mess up, you don't have to show anybody your work.
Right.
You don't have to. I'm just saying that, just try to do something wild. I think I'm going to. I mean,
Yeah.
and it may never see the light of day, with anyone, but I can afford that right now. That
Well, and
little
the thing is, yeah, and the thing is even if you do it right now, you just do a bunch of different things right now. At least you have those things for later on. At least you have those things. You have all this content for later on when you're, okay, that looking back at it. Oh, why didn't I post that? Or, oh, I could use this, or I can make this smaller, or things like that. So right now is like the best time to have that time to make that content when you have the time, you know?
Right, exactly. And who knows, like, imagine like what you start now, and you could make a book in a few months saying, "Oh, this
Right,
is what I did during the Corona thing." I'm just saying that's one idea you can do. You can
right,
just,
exactly.
this is what
Well,
all the work doing this.
yeah. So,
I just
I, so I think what we'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the links of your book on uh, this video,
Okay, great.
and then if you want to share it and all that fun stuff, I'm very grateful for you taking the time and chatting, Joshua, and I hope you
Well,
stay safe and healthy, and just keep on painting and creating. And if you need anything, just let me know.
I will. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be with you again. I know
Yeah,
we've done it a while back, and I remember how cool it was, and I
yeah,
just wanted to say, hey, this is what I've been doing. What do you think?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
So I'm
So
glad. It's a wonderful thing that you have this outlet for artists. I really appreciate it. It's
yes,
just
well, thank you, and hopefully I'm gonna step up my game a little bit here. We have the little
you
one
know,
here at home now, so we got to
yes.
get some homeschool and stuff taken care of, and then
Okay.
we can kick it into gear. But well,
Sure.
thank you, and you have a wonderful afternoon. And let me know, like I said, if you need anything, just let us know.
I'll do that. Thank you, Sandra. I
All
really
right,
appreciate it. All right. Have a great day, and see your
you too.
daughter. Hi.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one. All right.
You too.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye.
See you soon.